5-year-old Thomas is worried about death. He is afraid his parents are going to die, along with his grandparents, his dog, and his best friend. "Mommy, I'm scared," Thomas says each night before bedtime. "What if you and Daddy die while I'm sleeping?" Although Thomas is in kindergarten, he's reading on a 4th grade level. He is well-liked, has lots of friends, and comes from a stable home. "I don't know why this is happening," his mother says. "He doesn't know anyone who has died. I don't allow him to watch scary movies. He's only 5. How can he already be worried about death?" After receiving a B on her last math test, 8-year-old Cassandra worries she won't get into college. "I used to get all A's, and now that I'm getting B's, I'll never get into college." Cassandra's mother is dumbfounded by her daughter's remarks. "We don't talk about college at home. I don't expect A's. I don't understand why she's worried about something 10 years from now." 11-year-old Madeline worries her parents are getting a divorce. "I heard my parents fighting last night, and I'm scared they're getting a divorce. Sarah's parents got divorced last year, and now she only gets to see her dad on the weekends." Madeline's mother and father have no intention of getting a divorce and are frustrated by Madeline's reaction to their small argument. "Madeline's always taking things to the next level," her mother says. "I can't get her to understand that sometimes parents fight. It doesn't mean we are getting a divorce. I don't know what to do." Anxiety is the #1 mental health issue among children in the United States, and it has held that spot for over a decade. It also happens to be the #1 mental health issue among adults in the United States, so it's apparent the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We're an extremely anxious nation. What happens between childhood and adulthood? Are the anxious adults of today the product of the anxious kids of the 50s, 60s, and 70s? Will the anxious kids of today become the anxious adults of the future? Research tells us the human brain is more malleable in childhood, and as we grow older, our brains become less likely to change. What is relatively simple to change for a 5-year-old is difficult to change for a 55-year-old. As a psychotherapist, I see this time and time again. I might see a severely anxious 7-year-old, and after giving the parents some tools and working with the child for a short period of time, the child improves remarkably. Then I see a severely anxious middle-aged adult, and the situation looks very different. Things move much slower. Things are much harder to change. That's because the negative patterns have existed longer, and they've seeped into the cracks of everyday life. Quite often, issues that could have been remedied in a person's childhood become large obstacles in his or her adulthood. The best time to help an anxious person is during childhood. Before patterns become too ingrained and self-esteem is too low, kids and their parents need the resources to turn things around. This is what this book is intended to do: give parents the information and tools they need to help their children with anxiety. Specifically, to give the parents of smart kids what they need to help their children. As you will see in this book, smart kids think differently than regular kids, and you must parent them differently. We'll get into the definition of smart later, but for now, it's important to know that smart kids worry about different things than regular kids, so you must be prepared to handle the fears they bring to the table.